Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode.
Welcome. The early morning episode.
Yeah. This is it. Pure, unfiltered 5G. He's got the shaker
my
bottles.
Caffeine of...
Gotta get your protein in the morning.
No, it's not protein. It's just pure caffeine.
Really? You just
No, it's
dump some caffeine in water?
No, it's one of those like gamer sub mixes.
Okay.
Like G Fuel, but the other brand.
Yeah. I mean, I use those for I guess some of those I drink have caffeine, like electrolytes.
Yeah, so this company that I get them from has caffeinated version and non-caffeinated version.
Nice, yeah.
And so I mix the two. And
do they really brand those for gamers?
Yeah, it's called Gamer Subs. The name of the company is Gamer Subs.
Gamer Subs. Oh, okay. I thought you were just like a gamer supplement because you have to hydrate during long gaming sessions. I was like, unironically, that's what I use those for.
Yeah. No, this brand it's called Gamer Subs.
Wow. Okay. Do they want to sponsor us? Because I'll have to try them out. That sounds perfect.
Well, it was started by what's his name? He's like a reasonably famous YouTube guy. Jay Slat?
It sounds familiar. I don't think I know him,
but there's a ton of different gaming creators.
Yeah.
In their ecosystem. I don't know what their sponsorship system. Yeah. But they're pretty good. They have their flavor names are just out of this world, Looney.
Really?
There's one of my favorite flavors is called Guacamole Gamer Fart.
Okay. Yeah, sure. GGG.
Yeah.
GG. Yeah, okay.
There's another one that's like anime titty milk. Is literally one of the flavors that they have.
Gotcha. That's the vibe they're going for. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Gamer. Yeah.
They sell shaker cups for
You told me about this one, I think.
Yeah, I have one.
That's like an anime girl.
It's a waifu, an anime waifu on the shaker cup.
Shaker bottle, yeah. Okay.
And it's like a clear shaker cup, and so when you fill the cup, it has like this stencil design on it that fills in the
art. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
It's one of those like based on the temperature.
No. It's just like the bottle is like a clear, semi-translucent or like semi-opaque, like cloudy, I guess I would call it. But then there's a pure white stencil.
Okay, so just
it's not as like a sticker, but like a stencil. Mm-hmm. And then so you can tell what it is, but then when you fill it in, the color of the drink fills in the color of the picture, right?
Yeah.
So
interesting, yeah. Like a stencil.
Yeah. They taste yummy though. And it's
got caffeine or
it's got
vitamin
caffeine and it's got like a decent amount of like minerals and like your daily doses of things that you should get.
Yeah,
right?
Electrolytes, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dump some salt in there.
It's got the reason I like it though is because if you want like a caffeine, it's like per serving it's like 3 cents or something like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's like, I do 2 servings in the morning, which is so it's like 6 cents for this, which is like bigger than an energy drink or like a big energy drink, right?
Compared to $2 energy drinks. So like
$2 or $2.50.
Yeah.
It's like
is
$2 for $5 now at the gas station for Monsters. You
buy bulk in Costco, but you're limited on your flavors. And
yeah.
And even then, it's
and what's nice is that you can taste it 0 calories.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know what sugar substitute they use, but like
probably where does it come from?
It comes from the top. So that cap has opened, and so it'll
just come out,
dribble down the side. Yeah,
anywhere.
It's
an infinity edge.
It's an infinity edge.
Oh my!
This is quality content, Trevor.
Let me make sure to gulp really loudly into the mic, then peak. That is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's got a little bit of the aftertaste of like the whatever
artificial. I'm used to that, so it doesn't bother me.
But I like it. Not carbonated, which is kind of a bummer. Because I do like the bubbles.
Carbonate it yourself. Get some agua con gas.
Mm-hmm. but it's yummy. So, and cheap and
big titty animated girls. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like a, not to be all fight against the man, but small company.
Yeah, relatively small company. That's cool.
Owned by people who make quality content, not just some giant conglomerate of
who's just exist to make money.
Yeah.
What you just buy them online?
Nice. Yeah, they have the energy version and the non-energy version, which is caffeine and non-caffeinated, right? They also have one that I'm trying. I'm not convinced of it yet, but it's a sleep version.
Oh.
And it's this combination of chemicals that I used to use as just like a supplement in supplement form, like pills. It's like magnesium L-threonate, L-theanine, and there was another one that I don't remember.
Those are supposed to help you sleep?
They're supposed to help you sleep. They're supposed to put your brain into like a relaxed state. They're supposed to like calm your nervous system down or something like that to help you fall into sleep better. And this is like science-based. Like I don't know if you've heard the name Dr. Andrew Huberman.
He kind of rings a bell, but
he's a neurobiologist, neuroscientist, or whatever. And this is his chemical concoction that he suggests.
Gotcha.
So it's like legit.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced that I am convinced that the supplement form was helping me. I'm not convinced that there's enough of it in this drink mix
have a little drink before bed.
Yeah, they say 30 minutes before, which is like nice because you get a little sweet treat before you go and
That's true.
No calories again, right? Because it's all sugar, alcohol, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Sugar alcohols or just the zero ones.
Yeah,
because sugar alcohols can negatively affect some people, their stomach, digestive system doesn't like it. But
I don't remember. I don't know what. I'd have to look up the ingredients. I don't remember what it is, but
yeah. The erythritol is a pretty common one that's like natural. It's in a lot of energy drinks. Did a lot of deep diving into all the artificial sweeteners we have out now. That sounds cool though. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so like on the front, it looks a little bit expensive because it's like
you're buying a big box.
Well, you're buying like it's a little tub this big, and it literally is just like one little scoop.
Oh, just a scoop.
So it feels like you're like, I paid $30 for this little tub of stuff.
Yeah.
But then they get you with like if you're gonna have a Monster every day, or even a can of soda, right? This is 6 cents per 16 ounces compared to $3 per 16 ounces, 12 ounces. So it's like the maths.
So it's like $30, but you get like a lot.
It's 100 servings. 100 servings in a tub about this big.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha.
And their flavor names are all like goofy, out of this world, ridiculous, right? But then like you click on the description page and it's like
it tells you
like this berry mango, infusion of whatever bullcrap is.
Is it actually guacamole in the gamer guacamole?
No, I have no clue. I don't remember what the actual. It's yummy though. It's super good.
I'm a fan even without trying it. That's one big thing I think. I don't know, anybody on a weight loss journey should look at is I cut out the liquid calories like a long time ago.
Yeah.
You can't afford that. Like some people talk about the artificial sweeteners are bad for you, whatever. If you're trying to lose weight, it's calories.
Your weight's going to kill you before an artificial sweetener does.
Yeah, exactly. It's calories. And so that's a big thing for me. In the goals I was trying to reach, like cut out the liquid calories. I don't need those, but you can still have sweet treats. So a lot of energy drinks are sugar-free. So the whole time I was like in my burn for weight loss, it was like pretty low energy because I was in a calorie deficit. Energy drinks, they helped. And it's a nice sweet treat.
Yeah.
You still gotta treat yourself when you're trying to lose weight. So.
Yeah, that's the thing with this. This stuff I really like is that it's not the aftertaste of like a Diet Mountain Dew is like pretty gross.
Yeah.
Like the zero sugar ones are like way better, right? But this one because I don't have like a frame of reference for a caloried version of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's just what it tastes like.
It's just the flavor. It's good.
It's like it doesn't matter that it has a little bit of a weird aftertaste. Every like energy drink does anyway. So like this is just the weird aftertaste of it or weird taste of this one, and then I don't have to like justify it in my brain where it's like
What am I missing out on?
But I would rather just have a can of Mountain Dew instead of Mountain Dew Zero or Diet Dew or Diet Coke. Like, you know,
that's a good point. Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway,
gamer gifts,
gamer sups.
Yeah,
Sup. I think it's, I don't remember what their website is, like GG Fuel or something like that. But they've got a gazillion flavors. They also have a cup of instant noodles,
of course,
which is hilarious. And they actually sent me one for free in my box. And Ryan tried it, and she was like, "It's actually really good." She's like, "It's better than cup of noodles by like a factor of 3." I was like,
"That's fascinating."
Wow, all right.
It's like a joke of like how do you do cup noodles better? It's just cup noodles.
Yeah,
but apparently you can't do it better.
Yeah.
Speaking of Yakuza from last week, there was a whole Yakuza side story where you're trying to help this noodle chef create the best cup noodles, and your character is just like, just cup noodles, bro. Like, how hard can it be?
That's very funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's very funny. Well, should we get into the actual topic?
Yes.
We had
that was goals related.
That's true.
Current events we can cover briefly.
Yeah, I
have thoughts on this.
All right, the backstory.
Yeah,
Vladimir Zelensky, the president of.
His first name Vladimir?
I thought so.
Wow.
Mr. Zelensky. I'm 90% sure it's Vladimir Zelensky.
Isn't the name of the other guy Vladimir?
Yeah.
Both Vlads. Okay. Anyway.
All right, I gotta double check that.
I mean, you said that. I just realized.
Vladimir. Yeah, Vladimir Zelensky.
Okay.
Oh, so it's actually spelled differently.
Oh, it's
because he's special.
Ukrainian way or something. Ukrainian dialect.
Vladimir Putin is Vladimir.
That's what I think when I say
Vladimir, right?
Vladimir, yeah.
Zelensky is Volodymyr. Volodymyr.
That just sounds like this. That's the Russian spelling, I think.
It definitely could be.
Whereas Vladimir is just the English spelling.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
it's like Eugene in English versus Eugenio in Spanish.
Eugenio. Yeah.
Like, it's just spelled differently, but it's the same name. Anyway, Vlad.
Good old Vlad Zelensky. Vlad Zen, whatever you want to call him.
My bro Vlad.
He was at the Oval Office Friday?
I think yesterday, yeah,
Friday. And things got heated between he and JD Vance and Trump.
Yeah.
And the right side of the political aisle was pro-Trump and was saying, yeah, Vladimir Zelensky should be thanking us and he needs to apologize and blah, blah, blah. And the left side of the political aisle was like, meh, Trump bad, JD Vance stupid. Yeah. Vladimir Zelensky's the best. Basically sums up the arguments.
Sure. And then there's people, I don't know, in the middle, right, left. I feel like maybe I don't see enough of this discourse nowadays as I did a year ago. But there's some of those people, wherever you end up, who just don't care.
I don't.
I'm kind of outing myself as well. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot since yesterday.
Well, so give me your thoughts, Trevor. What is your take on? So for the person who hasn't seen the actual thing, there's, I don't know how you haven't.
Yeah.
If you're looking at this,
it's kind of all over.
You should just go watch. Like, so many people reacted to it.
Yeah.
I would suggest the Asmongold videos because I think he usually does a pretty good job of covering them. But
he's pretty non-political, technically.
He's
cultural more than anything.
I would say so. But, anyway. Whoever you choose, everyone was talking about it. Go to your favorite independent news source or legacy news source if you're still a plebe who does that.
Watch that? I don't know.
And yes, I am being offensive when I say that because I think if you still watch legacy media, you are a plebeian and just...
We have the internet.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
For either side, I don't care if it's Fox News or CNN. Like,
I
don't care either way. Or what's the new right-wing...
There's a new right-wing one?
Isn't it like OAN? one. No, what was it called?
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
Anyway, tell me your take on the whole thing. Like, I think you said you outed yourself as being someone who doesn't give a rip.
Yeah, well, it's just I hesitant because it feels like all the discourse online is so on the like Ukraine is the best. Like they're all just like I don't know, freaking
Sucking them off.
yeah. Thank you. I was trying to think of a nice way to say that. That's perfect. Just like all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh, Zelensky, oh, he's my favorite." Like,
Mhm.
like why are we all fangirling over Zelensky now all of a sudden? I don't,
Some 5'4" like former comedian turned Ukrainian
like
warlord.
because anytime anyone in the public sphere tries to like say that, they just say oh, you're a Putin puppet. You're like, well, no, I don't.
No, I don't care about I don't care about the other 5'4"
Yeah.
Russian warlord. Like, there's
Right?
no difference between. Sorry, continue.
Yes,
this is your opinion.
My opinion is
Is that you're a Russian sympathist?
well,
Is that,
yeah, I'm actually outing myself. I told you, no, it's a joke.
Da, 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 da,
The Russian anthem memorized. It's hanging on the wall, hammer and sickle right there behind the camera.
You've got like the Kim Jong Un like type portrait of Putin.
Yeah. All stylized.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah. Oh man.
Motion sense. So when you walk by, it goes dun 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 dun.
I have to stop and salute every time. Do the whole anthem. No, I feel like there's not enough. Maybe I need to watch some more independent media people. I feel like there's not enough voices of the average American on this topic. You know, they're not pro-Trump. They're not anti-Trump. They're just like, I don't care. It's not our war. Like, yeah, it's sad people are dying. That's halfway across the world. People die everywhere from here and in between there. Like,
Yeah.
It sucks. I want it to end, but like, I just don't care. I'm trying to think of like the Vietnam War, and I feel like in the history books, people told me back then that they were like apathetic, and that was like our own troops going over there and dying.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the things with how the Vietnam War failed was because of just the lack of support. This one is not our war, and it feels like there's so much support for it. It's just, I don't know. It feels weird to me. My opinion. I don't care.
I am in a very similar boat where honestly, I'm sick and tired of my small tax dollars going to a country that not only have I like never heard anything good about, I never hear anything about it.
No.
It's like, when was the last time Ukraine was in the news before this war?
3 years ago.
It was like the last time they were in the news was the other time they got invaded by Russia in 2014 or something like that. 2013 maybe?
Yeah. It was Obama.
Yeah, under Obama. And everyone was like, Russia has invaded the Ukraine. And I was like, where's the Ukraine?
Okay. Aren't they part of Russia?
Like, and I'm just like,
it's weird.
Like, okay. Like, Russia is a territorial superpower who wants to expand. That's how they've been for their entire history.
If it was like 100 years ago, right? Kind of still in the age of imperialism, or maybe imperialism was slightly dying off in 1920s. But like
it was kind of like the sunset years of imperialism, for sure.
That's like how the world used to function, was imperialism. Like, to give you an example, the only reason Canada exists is because we allow them to exist.
For sure. Same with Mexico.
Yeah, same with
to be honest, same with the entire continent of North America.
Yeah.
South America, if they created a coalition, might do something. But like, the U.S. would steamroll the entire continent of North America.
How the world worked for a very long time, and it's just kind of like the modern thing of like, well, it's nice
sovereignty.
Yeah, it's the nice,
which is good. Like I said that in a mocking tone.
It's positive because instead of fighting all the time, we can try to somewhat work together and advance culture and whatever science.
Science.
Ooh, science. But like Russia never really left that mindset. kind of what the Cold War was about. And we told them, hey, you gotta break up. You gotta stop that.
Yeah.
In form of like America policing. And so Russia just keeps expanding. You're like, okay, that's not great. You guys should probably stop that. But at a certain point, like, I don't know, how much can we do before just outright declaring war instead of funding a shadow war, a puppet war?
Well, the last time we declared war was World War II. Trip.
I know.
Korea was a policing action. Vietnam was a policing action.
The whole Middle East conflict.
Well, Middle East was. I don't think they were technically policing actions.
Conflicts.
They were.
Some of them were just operations.
Yes.
We're just flying swords.
Operation Desert Storm.
Yeah, that's like, my uncle flew in that one.
Oh, but you're dropping like hundreds of JDAMs on these mud huts. Like, seems pretty warlike to me.
Yep.
I'm not generally a fan of war without reason.
Sure, yeah.
And usually I'd prefer to be the country that I don't want our country to start any wars, to be honest.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. And we'd be investing our own.
And also, what's the reason?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, we're going to start a war with Canada?
You can just strong arm them to get what you want.
There's also only 30 million of them or something like that.
Yeah.
And they all live in Toronto.
Right.
Like, a couple well-placed bombs and they surrender. Where it's like... And, like, we provide all of their fighter jets and all of their... Like, they don't have any native armament companies in Canada that I can think of.
I don't think they have any, like, aircraft carriers. Like, their Navy barely exists, yeah.
Well, no one has anything compared to the U.S.
I know.
The entire world's aircraft carrier supply is 1/5 of what the U.S. has.
Yeah, that's fair.
The United States has 3 of the top 5 Air Force capabilities in the world.
We invented the metric.
Yeah. It's like the number 1 Air Force in the world is the United States Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
The number 2 is Russia. The number 3 is the United States Navy.
Yeah.
The number 4 is like
funny.
Japan or China or one of those countries. Number 5 is the United States Marines.
That's
like
it's pretty good. Yeah, statistically, like, all right, if we pit the Navy against the Marines, like,
yeah, for like seriously. Like, the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy could fight it out with fighter jets and still have more fighter jets
than the vast majority of countries.
In almost all countries.
Overwhelming majority, yeah.
Like, people forget that, like, and, you know, China and Russia do have, like, substantial military capability, and, like, especially, like, China, especially to produce an abundance of cheap armaments and, like, you know, like, United States ships, 1 for 1, a U.S. ship demolishes China.
Yeah.
But when China can outproduce us 300 to 1, it's like, all right, you got to kill 300 of them for our one ship? Like, that's a crazy stat.
Turns into a numbers game.
Yeah.
Like any battle strategy. Yeah.
So it's just like, anyway. Why does the U.S. need to fight in any wars?
Summed up.
Like, I don't think we need to be isolationists, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I also don't think that we should spend, like, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
And we can close it out on this.
Sure.
Unless you wanted to follow up. The United States needs to be very black and white about with its military.
Mm-hmm.
When something happens, like Russia invading Ukraine, and the United States is against it, either we do nothing and let it play out because who gives a crap?
Yep.
Which is like most people, it's like, wow, that's horrible that Russia invaded Ukraine, which they used to own for 700 years.
Yep.
Oh no. Like, I really do not care. Just like I really don't care about the Israel-Gaza thing.
Yeah,
I really don't care at all about it. We either need to do that and just not give a crap.
Let nature take its course.
Yeah.
Let imperialism happen.
Whatever. Like, if Europe is, like, so concerned about Russia, like, creeping into Europe again, then they can do something about it.
Sure.
That's them, their sphere of influence.
So either that,
and you know, if we can sell them as much as we want to sell them, but let's stop with this gifting Ukraine billions of dollars worth of equipment, right?
Right.
Hundreds of billions of dollars worth of crap, right? Like, we don't need to gift it to them; they can buy it.
They can buy.
I don't care if sure,
respectfully,
buy it. I don't care.
That was World War II. That's what we did.
If you want to, World War One as well.
Yeah, fair.
So we either need to do that, or we need to just go in with the entire thing, declare war, and say this is not happening. We are pushing these lines back to their borders.
Finish the fight.
Yes, because
go in and end it.
The United States really sucks at winning fights that are not wars.
Yeah.
But when it's a war, we pretty much just clean house.
Well, yeah, because it's like I guess we said we were kind of going to end, but I think the concept is interesting of like a finite battle or an infinite battle. Like we're bad at the infinite battles. Very bad.
Very bad.
Some people, like the Viet Cong, are very good at the infinite battles.
Or the jihadists.
Yeah, because they're just fighting, like, you could say, for survival. Or whatever, right? Whereas when America has an end goal in sight, our military, our culture has always been end it, finish the fight.
Yeah, for sure. So. Yeah. I mean, it's very obvious to defeat a foreign entity. It's very difficult to defeat an ethereal entity.
Yeah.
Where it's like the war on drugs, right? Like,
sure,
we're gonna kill the drug cartel.
End the drugs.
Well, which drug cartels?
Yeah,
like all of them. But what about like, are we like codifying a list, or is it just like the ethereal cartels that exist?
And once you get rid of those ones, are more just going to come? So like,
yeah, exactly.
End it forever.
Exactly. Anyway,
yeah.
There's our first 20-minute segment.
Politics, current events.
Who cares? It's stupid. All right.
Let's talk about movies. Movies are fun. We should just turn into a movie YouTuber. I don't get paid enough to just watch movies for a living, but
I would love that.
That would be fun, yeah.
Although, would it be boring?
I don't know. You have to think about movie YouTubers, right? I watch a few. I'm sure you.
Yeah.
Do. Are they bored? Because they at this point they're locked in. They're movie YouTubers, so they have to keep doing what they do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be kind of like.
Do you stop enjoying movies?
And also, like, what happens if there's 3 or 4 weeks of like no new movies coming out?
January into February of 2025.
Yeah, for real.
There was nothing. You go watch old movies, I guess.
I guess. Or I guess there's always independent films coming out and stuff like that. Yeah. And there was the Valentine's Day movies that were Love Hurts. Pretty good movie still.
Right.
Even thinking back, I was pretty happy with my recommendation on it.
Nice. So, movies are fun.
Tell me about the Witcher movie that you watched on Netflix.
I saw it on Netflix. They have an animated Witcher movie.
Now, this isn't the animated show that they had, right? Blood Origins,
I thought was live action. No, was that one animated?
I don't remember.
I've got the generic bad fantasy things mixed up in my head. I'm like, was that Rings of Power?
I did not watch the second season of that still.
Yeah, they greenlit season 3.
Did they?
They did.
I mean, they've invested a couple $1 billion into it already, right?
They're bleeding viewers. I don't know how they're keeping the money up, but maybe just Amazon Prime is keeping them afloat. So,
I mean, Amazon has so many oodles of dollars.
They don't
that
need viewer count.
Cares?
Yeah, but yes, The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep, I think was the name. Sirens of the Deep, which. Yeah, I'll preface and then come back around to this at the end probably. It's not the worst Witcher content that Netflix has ever produced.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Right, so you think about all the Witcher content that Netflix has produced. It's not the worst because the Witcher was in it.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why throughout the movie there were a couple things I was like, I don't know about that, and this is kind of weird, but at least the Witcher's here.
Yeah,
so it's the Witcher doing stuff, and they have the original voice actor from the games.
Oh, nice. That's sick.
Which is cool. Some of the voice actors for the other characters, they got the live action people, which is kind of interesting, but whatever, because Netflix already had them in house. And Henry Cavill must have been busy in the original guy.
He's off of it now.
Oh, that's true, he's off of it now. Yeah, so whenever they were making this, might have already been post that.
That's been a couple of years now that he's been off of it, right?
Yeah, it was season 3 was coming out, and I think the news came out that he dropped. Yeah. But yeah, so Doug Cockle the original voice actor from the games, who's very good. Both very good Witchers or Geralts. Um, he came, so voice acting was good. Him especially, phenomenal. A lot of the things he does in the movie are very witchery, so it was kind of cool to see. He's even the very first fight in the show, he's fighting this big like fish lizard monster thing, and then like he's about to kill it or whatever at the end of the fight, and then he realizes like that it's not actually the one that he like was. He was paid to go kill the monster that's killing all the sailors or whatever.
Yeah,
and he realizes that this fish monster wasn't killing the sailors. He finds out. He's like, oh, I'm not going to kill it then. It's a very Witcher thing to do. He's like, I didn't get paid to kill this thing.
Yeah.
Or like, this is the wrong thing. Because in the Witcher universe, that's a constant theme explored of like, who's really the monsters? The humans or the monsters?
The answer is the monsters.
It's mostly the monsters, but it does show the monstrous nature of humanity.
Yes.
It's a good series. It's a good universe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he does some other Witcher things. He's drinking the potions. He's like exploring crime scenes, for lack of a better word, trying to like piece parts together and see what happens. He does some like, he always ends up in these dumb like political debates.
Yeah.
He's trying to like resolve conflict, and he's just like, rolls his eyes through the whole thing, but he is good at it. So it was enjoyable. That being said, the story was kind of meh.
Sure.
The animation was fine, but there were some parts that looked a little weird, a little choppy. They kind of vibe for a more almost anime style of like fight scenes. So they're kind of more movement, which is fun sometimes, but it doesn't look good in other parts.
Yeah.
Some of it's computer animated, some of it's not. When they have these like fish people fighting some humans. So not amazing, but not terrible. And it was, like I said, better than Witcher Season 3, because it actually had the Witcher in it, Geralt of Rivia, which the live-action Witcher show, Season 3, had like
very little of
no
him.
Geralt.
It was all Siri doing her little stunts and dinglies.
Like, I'm watching the show for The Witcher.
Speaking of The Witcher, did you see that the Witcher 5... What's the video game coming out?
The video game is 4. Witcher 4, yeah.
With Siri as a Witcher
the protagonist,
now. Yeah. Did you see that they changed her model, her character model?
See that
was very interesting.
They pulled a Sonic on him.
Yeah.
A Sonic trailer, and everyone was like, that looks wrong, fix it.
Yep. Yeah. I've got 2 movies to discuss.
Okay.
One is just a recommendation of a movie, and I think we've recommended it before. You've recommended it.
I feel like I mentioned it. Maybe on here, yeah.
I feel like you recommended it too.
Yeah. So maybe you saw it, and then because of that, now you're...
Well, I definitely was English language, Steven. Yeah.
You can try Portuguese now.
I keep thinking confirmed in my opinion. No, that's not right though. Like reassured. There you go.
Oh,
Holy cow, that was rough. Like a little screwdriver in the gears there. I was reassured in my watching decision based on your review of the movie. But Ryan and I watched The Beekeeper together. I think we did it on Monday night. Maybe Sunday night. Sunday night. Okay. We watched The Beekeeper. It's on Netflix.
Oh, nice. I'm going to go rewatch it.
Is it Netflix or
Amazon?
It's on Amazon. It's Amazon.
I know a lot of the Jason Statham movies are on Amazon for whatever reason.
Yeah. So. It's on Amazon. That's right. But yeah, it was a solid movie. Mm-hmm. I have classic Jason Statham movie.
Yeah.
Thin plot line of like backstory. Mm-hmm. It's like, wait, how did that person's the president? Oh, what? Huh?
Yeah.
What? All right. I mean, sure, fine.
There's a secret government organization that's even more secret than
any CIA, and it's not attached to the CIA because it's like a separate thing, and
it has no government oversight.
Yeah,
because that's how they work.
Yeah, and then it's like there's him, and he just is
thin blood.
Yeah, it's like okay, but like at this point, do we expect anything different out of a Jason Statham movie?
No. Yeah, not
like
really.
Honestly, I watch a Jason Statham movie to watch him like beat the crap out of guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You expect some kind of like, rising and then falling action. There's still a story.
Yes.
But for the most part, yeah.
And usually the acting is pretty good. You know,
the
like,
story is just a vehicle for Jason Statham acting and beating guys up. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Which, guess what? I'm okay with.
it's fun.
And like, it's not such a thin plot line where you're like poking holes in it the entire time.
Yeah.
It's like at least somewhat reasonable where it's like, okay, I'm not going to like critique this too hard. Like, I'm not going to deep dive into this because of like obvious blatant inaccuracies.
The Beekeeper universe makes no sense.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this is obviously a fiction, right? Yeah. But it's done in such a way where you're like, that'd be kind of cool if it was real-ish. I don't know.
They got some enjoyable scenes.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, solid movie. I'd give it an A minus, I think.
Okay.
On a
enjoyability factor.
I wouldn't say it's like a work of art, you know.
No, it's not winning any awards. Not that means anything these days, but
no. We should come out with our own game awards and our own movie awards and TV show awards.
Yeah. The culture awards.
I don't know what we would call them.
The based award.
The regular human beings.
Yeah, just like, good job, you passed. You're liked by the average person. I don't know, something.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd give it an A minus. Solid movie. You know.
Yeah, dude. When they destroyed the beehives, I was like, oh no.
I know. I was like devastated. I was like, oh my gosh! And then he cuts the guy's fingers off, and you're like, oh, that's
with the bandsaw. Oh, yeah, I like that scene. Yeah, it was pretty good.
And then he like, I don't know why. Like this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it kind of makes sense, and like they kind of tied it together, but like he lets the guy go, and then follows him to a bridge, and he just had to know that the bridge was going to be up when like a ship was going underneath or whatever, and so the guy stopped, and he like comes over and like ties the guy with a tow strap to his car, puts a brick on the pedal or whatever, and like shifts it into drive, and
forgot
then
about that scene.
Yeets the guy into the river with his old beat up F-150 pickup truck, and you're like, but why did you do that? Why did you had the guy like you cut his fingers off, and he was, you know, there, like you didn't have to do anything different, like, but it was a cool scene, so I was like, you know what? You get a pass. Like, who cares?
They killed his bees, and he's the beekeeper. So yeah, he was mad.
It was very funny, and like the whole premise of like this, you know, I don't know, just like some of like the old CIA directors working for this 28-year-old kid who's like scamming people using this military technology that his mom's company or his dad's company developed, and his mom is the president. And it's like, well, okay, come on, guys. Yeah. Like, there's way too much going on here.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, the antagonist, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but it was fun to see everyone's like, oh crap, a beekeeper's coming for you.
Yeah,
it sounds dumb, but like.
And then other people were like, a beekeeper? You're like, yeah, a beekeeper.
Well,
they're like,
the beekeeper?
Like, bee? Yeah. What? I thought the one thing I will say is that I thought one thing that I thought was really well done was the scene where she's getting scammed. The main, well, not the main, but the mom of the secondary character.
Yeah.
The thing that prompted the entire thing to happen.
Yes,
right.
Yep.
The catalyst of the movie.
John Wick's dog getting shot.
Yes, exactly.
This is the catalyst. Yep.
Exactly. I thought the suicide aspect of that, I was like, oh shoot, that's like a really good, like, it wasn't just like, I'm doing this because you stole a bunch of money from this old lady who I love. Mm-hmm. And she's not just like sitting there like, oh, help me, beekeeper.
No money.
She's like, she suffered through that in silence and then like took her own life because she lost, $3 million or whatever it was.
Right. All the kids' inheritance or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like the beekeeper goes after the bad guy because he's like, you're ruining people's lives.
And then, it's always convenient because her daughter is an FBI agent.
Yeah.
I thought that actress did a pretty okay job.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
At some points I was like, all right, you're starting to get like the whiny
character was a little annoying in a couple parts, but like the actress was fine.
The actress was great. Yeah. It would be more the character.
Yeah.
I was like, and it wasn't like quite to the point where I was annoyed with the character. Yeah. I was just like, you're kind of getting on my nerves a little bit.
I was like, yeah, your coworker is kind of annoying anyway. So
yeah. I did like her partner.
Yeah.
He was a good character.
Yeah. So the Beekeeper should prep you for the next Jason Statham movie coming out in the cinematic universe, where he changes jobs. A lot of his movies, he has like job titles are his movie. This is the Beekeeper. He's had like the Carrier or whatever. He's had some older ones. This next one, the Working Man.
Is that really?
Yeah, it comes out in like April or something.
I've not heard of it even.
The Working Man. There's trailers for it online already.
That's funny.
He ran out of job titles. Now he's just the generic Working Man.
You gotta wonder, like, is he ever just like, because he's a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
But he's doing this thing where it's just like, I'm gonna make as many crappy movies, not crappy, but
relatively low budget action movies.
Yeah, with like, it's like him and then like C tier actors.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, they might have been in like a couple scenes of like a backup character of like a movie, or in like a TV show or whatever, but like they're not like big name actors.
No. He's trying to like give people some more opportunities.
Like what do you think?
While also making money.
Do you think that he just doesn't have a good agent and just like doesn't think that he can make enough money on these movies?
That's a theory. Another theory I just had is like he was on the Expendables, right? So like,
yeah,
which was a bunch of A tier actors.
Yeah,
I don't know much about Jason Statham personally, but I wonder if he sees that and he's like, yeah, that's great, but that was just like an excuse for all of us to get a giant paycheck. It didn't really help our careers at all.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like, maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe he's philanthropic. I don't know. Jason Statham could be a dick. I doubt it, but I think it'd be neat because he's got the money and the fame, kind of like you're saying, to like, but instead of the Expendables, which was cool, let's like try to give some other people a chance or something. Because all these action movies in the Expendables, even now, you look at them and like, oh, they're all aging up. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Who do we have replacing them in the action movie sphere?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm a fan of all of the movies that he does, to be honest. Like, he's never done one where I was like, I hated that.
This was dope.
Like, there's one where it's like, well, that was silly.
Yeah.
Like, and it's always over the top, like,
Gotta have the car chase scene. You gotta have the one-on-one fist fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But hey, they're good,
Turn your brain off. Enjoy.
Turn your brain off.
They're fun.
They're good popcorn movies.
Yeah.
You're not gonna sit there and just like, I watched 1917 last night, I mentioned. That's not like I'm just gonna sit here and eat some popcorn movie.
Yeah.
That's like
you're like, fixed to the screen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But like Jason Statham movies are like, yeah, that was, you don't have to think about it. It's pretty obvious. There's no like puzzle for you to solve in your brain, like what's going to happen. You know the end game of this movie. Before you watch the movie, you know what's going to happen. Is that he's going to kick the trash out of everyone up to the top, and then he wins.
He's going to win.
And then he walks away into the sunset. And it's like,
but how does he do it? That's the interesting part.
But you know the story.
You're not trying to solve how he does it, like, oh, the movie gets you thinking. It's like, no, I'm here just to see how.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there's a super fortified beach house. How is he going to get in? Well, I don't care how he gets in. He's going to do it, though. This isn't like a heist movie where it's like, oh, how are they getting in? Yeah. It's like, no, he's going to get in. That's the plot of the movie, is he wins.
He must get in, yeah.
The writing room when Jason Statham is in it, I'm going to make a movie where I'm bad and I win. Figure it out. They're like, okay. Like,
random job title name generator, Beekeeper. Yeah, okay. Whole movie around that, I guess.
Job that only 0.01% of population has.
Good.
Beekeeper. Oh, that's the movie.
That didn't test well in our focus group, so it was too specific. Okay, the working man. 99.9% of people have. Perfect.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull up a couple more of his movie titles here, just
to hammer it in. Yeah.
I gotta know what the
the writers' room is like.
All right, here we go. The Transporter.
That's it. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
2002. The Expendables. A Working Man, 2025.
Yep.
The Mechanic. The Mechanic Resurrection. Spy. Transporter 3. Parker. Hummingbird,
Really?
Wild Card. Oh, he was in the Italian Job. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Killer Elite, Crank, Chaos, Mutiny. Like they're just adjectives or names.
Yeah. Okay. You
Like-
can even, instead of just job titles, a lot of them are just like one word titles.
High Value Target, The Ghost of Mars.
Value target.
Those are like some very like just like random generic names.
Yep.
Doesn't tell you anything about
his writer's room is like, all right.
6-year-olds. Like,
Well, these days you can probably put it into AI. But back then it was like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, just random name generator, go.
yeah. First word, the. Second word, working.
Perfect. We can work with that.
So I wanted to get your take. Switch gears to this next
Totally.
movie here. Your favorite holiday is Groundhog's Day.
Ah, yes.
Have you seen the trailers for this new Groundhog's Day movie?
I have, yeah.
It's a Groundhog's Day movie. Like,
I think so, yeah.
I would classify it as that.
Definitely.
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17.
It's with Edward from Twilight.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Trying to distance himself from that, Stephen. Gosh.
Yeah, he did Batman, which I thought was a decent movie.
I thought he did really well.
I thought he did great. The movie in and of itself, I was like, meh.
He played a good detective Batman.
Yeah. And young, like, moody, like,
Yeah.
still reeling from his parents' death 15 years ago, you
Pretty
know?
young Batman.
Whereas most of the Batmans we get are, like, in their 50s, it feels like.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's an experimental dude who just, like, goes and does random crap and dies and then gets printed out.
It's some kind of like sci-fi dystopian where they can clone people or like have to get their consent or whatever. So like they can clone him
Yeah.
as a worker and maybe a couple other people. I don't know. And so yeah, he does like dangerous jobs in like generic space place or whatever
Yeah.
that has dangerous things to do, and he dies.
I'm gonna be honest. The first time I saw it, I was like, "That looks like a stupid movie."
Yeah.
At the ad,
That's
right?
what I thought.
The
Yeah,
preview.
at the end,
It's like, this looks really dumb. And then I watched like a couple more of the ads, and I was like,
the whole trailer all the way.
"Oh, this actually looks pretty sick."
Yeah,
I'm actually fairly excited for the movie.
I'm and coming after a dearth of like no movies in the movie theater. Really.
Yeah,
I think it's next week. Pretty sure
yeah. First,
March something.
I think it was the 7th, right?
Yeah, it could be this coming
This
weekend.
Friday.
So like,
I might go see it.
it looks pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think it will be an interesting movie to go see.
it's sci-fi kind of Groundhog's Day concept.
This is just all up your alley, right here.
Perfect. Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow is probably my favorite movie, and that is sci-fi Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, true.
With aliens and guns and.
I don't know if there's aliens in this one.
Yeah, I don't know if there's aliens, but there's at least like the concepts that they want to explore seem interesting.
Yeah.
If they do it, if they explore what I think they're going to explore.
Well, and their cast is pretty stacked with like
saw
decent
Robert
actors.
Pattinson, I think. I didn't know there's anybody else.
As a person, I don't like him, but Mark Ruffalo's in it. I think he's a good actor.
I think he's a good actor. Yeah.
I don't like him as a person, but there was a couple more. Let me look it up real quick. Mickey 17.
Based off of a book, I know that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and I had heard the author was pretty involved in the movie.
Yeah.
In some random review I read, so that's always a good sign as well. Sci-fi Groundhog's Day, based off a book, author still involved.
Yeah. Okay, there's not that many. It's really just Robert Pattinson and Mark Ruffalo that I recognize.
He's probably the antagonist then, or something.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
There's a couple who like look kind of familiar.
Maybe in some smaller movies here and there.
Yeah, I don't recognize them like off the bat, right? But like if there's, anyway.
Oh, that person was in some random.
Yeah, like and like, oh, this person was doing whatever, right? It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that show.
I know that movie. Yeah.
Like I think one of the actors just there was in the movie or the TV show on Netflix that was good, except you didn't like the ending.
The Witcher.
It's like all the Netflix movies I just
every Netflix show.
No, the 3 Body Problem.
Oh, the 3 Body Problem.
Yeah. The guy who gets shot into space. I think he's in it.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I was watching some of the previews and I was like, you know what? I think I want to go see this.
It
looks pretty good. So
it seemed a little stupid at first.
Yeah.
I think it might could hold some sort of lighthearted aspect for a little bit of the movie.
I think it definitely does. Yeah.
But then it seems like there's kind of some bigger conspiracy or not conspiracy, I guess, but there's something more going on.
Yeah, 100%.
And also the ethics of it, of like he dies and it gets 3D printed out. Is that
Yeah, and they what do they call him? They called him a. There's like a name for the type of
in the
person.
trailer, they said,
it's not an expendable, is it?
No. Surely they wouldn't have done that.
It was something like that though, where it's like
reconstituted. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, where it's like you're applying to be a this, and they're like, he's like, yep.
You're like, yeah.
Anyway, I
should be neat.
Yeah, I think it looks very promising at least, right? So I think next week I'll have a review on it if it just come out next week. Whenever it comes out, I'll go see it.
Tune in after that.
Yeah,
and we'll review it.
We shall.
Unless it sucked, then actually we'll still review it.
True. True.
If it was average, you won't hear about it. We'll just be like, whatever.
Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, Trevor. What else we got here?
We got for our game news this week. Oh no! You have
how much time do we have left?
10.
We might not have time to go through this, but I kind of want to though because it's an interesting thought.
Sure.
So let me give you 2.5 seconds of backstory. I was watching a podcast with Palmer Luckey, who I think I've mentioned before. Yeah. Palmer Luckey, founder of Oculus VR, obviously was bought by Facebook. He was a Facebook employee for years, and then got fired. Started a company called Anduril, which is a military technology company. Not a contractor. He makes it very clear they're not a contractor; they're a product company.
Okay,
whatever. I was listening to a podcast with him, and he was explaining a bunch of stuff. And he was explaining how in the future we're going to have robots that are controlled by Tier 1 operators like SEAL Team 6, where they can go in and be an augment to a SEAL Team 6 group, right?
Okay.
This is, he's saying like in 75 years, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The future.
And he was saying the problem right now is that,
input lag.
Well, but also like we'll have robots that are better than current humans in 30 years.
Sure.
But what are the humans going to look like in 30 years in terms of capabilities with, exoskeleton augmentation and, the night vision technologies that they have? You have to like think about, okay, we're not just building a robot for the current day human to be a current day human. We have to beat them whenever this robot can come out, which is in 50, 30, 75 years, right?
Pretty forward thinking. I like that.
Which is a good point, right? Like, we're building technologies for today's wars that are going to be used in wars 30 years from now. Well, we should probably be building those weapons for the wars in 30 years rather than for the wars that we fight today.
Yeah, that's for
this is the whole problem with, at the start of World War I, tanks, machine guns, like those were all developments of that time period, and the technology advanced so quickly because we went from, 30 years before World War I, people were still using muzzle loading and like paper cartridge rifles,
black powder. Yeah,
like the Russians were developed a cased rifle in the 1890s.
Yeah,
and like there was a few more earlier than that, but like they're still using
rifles.
Yeah,
before that, but not really.
Everyone was still there was no machine guns. Like the Maxim machine gun was in I think his first prototype was in the 1890s.
Yeah, I was about to say it. Right around the turn of the century.
Yeah. So like, this technology had only been around for 15 years.
Yeah, it went so quick.
And then all of a sudden everyone is using them, right? So anyway, my thought was though, he was saying like, oh, these like real human beings are going to be so much better in 50 years. And I was like, what do you like? I was thinking of Halo, and you have the Spartans, right?
Yeah,
who are obviously like these super soldiers.
Yep.
Right. Stolen from their homes when they're young.
Yeah, child.
And then surgeries and development into these 7-foot tall super soldiers with their Mjolnir armor and are just crazy cool, right? And I was just thinking, like, the human body is an incredible machine. Right now, there are drugs and things you can do to the human body that could make you pretty close to a Master Chief type character.
Fair.
I mean, obviously, like, you're not going to be jumping out of spaceships into an atmosphere and then just landing on the ground.
Yeah,
like,
minus the actual armor.
Yeah,
you know, the
like
sci-fi part of that.
But like legitimately, like, and my thought process was this, right? If we were able to take a group of tier 1 operators, right, or even mediocre operators, but who have the battle knowledge, right?
Yeah.
They might not just be like the physically fittest, right, or like the most like naturally athletic, right?
Yeah.
But if you're able to give them performance enhancing drugs from a doctor, right, in like a very controlled environment, in a very medical environment, right, where you're able to give them performance enhancing drugs, you're able to, you know, strengthen, like, kind of like do a little bit of like Deadpool surgery, where it's like,
yeah,
you know, put some titanium on their bones and stuff like that,
and the muscles up or something.
Like, don't get me wrong, this would be like incredibly invasive, right? But and then augment them in some way with like an exoskeleton type system that is like rapidly developing, if not already exists, right? It's like you can get pretty close to a Master Chief type thing, where it's like, you know, you see these gym bros who sometimes aren't the brightest. They're on these performance enhancing drugs, and they don't have the optimal dosage or anything like that, correct? Right? They're doing it based off of, you know, random
how they feel.
Yeah. But if you have that in a medical environment where you can mitigate the effects of overdosing on it, right? Like, if you have too much, obviously it's going to ruin your body.
Yeah.
But, you know, if there's regular blood testing to make sure you're not going to renal failure because you're pumping PEDs into your body, if you're using clean product, if you're doing all the things correctly, it's like you could make a super soldier that's like super strong and super fast. And then, you know, give them the latest technology.
Yeah, he's got the hardware to back
and
it up.
Like, I think it'd be a really cool experiment to run if you could get it past government approval.
Yeah, if you could get past, you know, ethics committees and whatnot.
Well, so this is the thing. I don't think ethically it's like there's anything wrong with it, because
just the invasiveness, but you know.
But you're not doing it to like kids, right?
No,
you're taking an adult.
You're taking an adult who signs up for it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, and these aren't like untested drugs. It's not like experimental drugs that you're going to be giving them, right? It's like there's a lot of people who take PED, it's not performance enhancing drugs,
MK Ultra or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
Exactly. And like you would have to make sure that you're doing it very like safely, right?
Right.
Because, but I seriously think you could make some like crazy human beings.
Because of the potential. Yeah, the potential is there.
I gift that thought to you.
Okay. My
what's your initial reaction?
Yeah, my initial other than like, okay, the ethics, but you're not nabbing kids like the Spartans were in sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
What do you do with veterans when they come home after they've served their time as a super soldier? Now they're like, obviously you don't have the hardware, but like anything you've done, if you actually did like a titanium
forearm or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Caleb got titanium in his arm.
Oh, that's true.
It just is there.
Yeah.
People, when they get like a bone repaired, have the titanium screws and plate in their arm for you know, until they get it removed.
I guess it depends. Yeah, how much.
Now, I'm not saying like replace their entire skeleton with titanium.
They got
right?
like cybernetic eye.
No, I'm not. I mean, if they want, that'd be kind of cool. But you know, like people are like, there's this like Neuralink chip and stuff like that, right? Where it's like relatively invasive, but people are signing up for it. You know. And that's even great. Like, I wasn't even thinking that. I was mostly thinking like
just a physical.
Yeah, and like look at like, okay, on like operations, when someone gets hurt, what's like the most common bones to be broken? It's like, well, why don't we reinforce those? You know, do something with like, there's chemicals you can put on your skin that make it really, really tough. There's actually this guy online. He's doing an experiment where he's putting it on his hands every day. And so far, his hands are at an 80 grit sandpaper. He can sand wood with his hands. It's like for dog paws to like make them super tough for like the Iditarod type stuff. You spray it on like your dog's feet over time, and it like makes it really tough.
No way.
So like make a natural like protective coat, and he's doing it on his hands, and it's like
own hands.
Yeah. So like, you know, something like that where you can like, oh, we get like, but it wears off over time, right?
Yeah, if you don't keep doing
Your
it.
skin, because your skin replaces itself,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, yeah, you might look like an ugly freakazoid when you're like doing it, but like 3 years after,
Yeah.
your skin's going to return to basically normal, right?
So if you have just like a decent reintegration program.
So it's like, just like if you're able to take this chemical or something similar, right, and beef up the skin on the hands and the elbows and the forearms that are going to get cut up, which, you know, it's not going to stop a tier 1 guy, but it's going to be really annoying, and it's going to distract a little bit from, you know, like if you get a cut on your head and it starts bleeding into your eye, then you can't see out of that eye.
Yeah.
So like if you can toughen that
more than the actual cut.
Yeah.
The actual
if you can toughen that skin up so it's more abrasive resistant, right? It's like you can still get cut, certainly. But like if it does, it's going to like be a really serious wound.
Yeah, yeah.
And it mitigates the small minor things that just like break your attention, right?
Okay. Kind of level the playing field, like you said, between the peak guys anyway, and just maybe the average guys.
Well, and like just be able to take the peak guys and make them like crazy peaker, you know? It's just raise that triangle up, you know? Where it's like, yeah, now they're taking performance enhancing drugs, and they're doing like VO2 maxing, and they're like on treadmills with all the things hooked up to them to like optimize their the strength versus, you know, speed type thing. I just think, like, can you imagine just being able to carry like an extra 20 pounds of ammo?
Yeah, exactly.
Without getting tired.
Pretty like minor things that can make a big difference. I think is what you're getting at. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not saying make a cybernetic robot.
No.
Replace it with a robot arm.
No, but I'm just thinking like
pretty natural, relatively natural.
Yeah, like legitimately, if there's like, if the most, for example, if the most common thing in a fight in that we can find is these guys are getting broken forearms, right? They're breaking their forearms. It's like, okay, well then let's like prevent that and throw a titanium plate in their forearm.
Boom.
So that like if they fall, they've also got an additional support of titanium. It doesn't prevent their arm from breaking.
No,
right?
Similarly, like something in the legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and if it's smashed kneecaps, well then let's just go ahead and put a little titanium plate over their kneecap, you know? Like, we use titanium all the time in the medical industry.
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
Not we, the world at large, right? I personally perform operations. No, but like the world at large uses titanium all the time, right? Or stainless steel or whatever you want to throw in there, right? But
so yeah, why not use
just like
what we have? Yeah.
If they're going to break their arm and we're going to fix it with a titanium plate, what if we just prevent the break by putting a titanium plate in there, and then they don't have to go through all that pain
in the first place? Yeah, or risk failing the mission or
exactly
because of it. Yeah,
exactly, right? So it's like,
it's a good concept in warfare. Like, you should be train the best soldiers you can. So personally.
All right, now we got to go start a company that does this.
Yeah, pitch it.
Yeah.
The only problem is the government would be in charge of it. So you're like,
well, I think you could do it as a private company.
Private company, not a contractor.
Just like, a contractor or whatever, right? But like,
maybe, yeah.
Where, you're working in tandem with the government to create this soldier.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's about yeah.
Where it's like, you have the doctors, you get to select the doctors, you get to select the products and do all this stuff, and then
contractor
I think it'd be very interesting to run that experiment with like at least one group, however big a unit is, 50, 100 guys or whatever, and just be able to like, it'd be very cool because those guys are already like the peak of humanity almost. And so to like make them better than that would be crazy.
I wonder just the success rate as well of the surgeries, how good those are. I don't personally know. You say
I don't.
I have to imagine it's like negligible, but it's like when you're doing a lot of them on purpose, maybe those numbers add up.
I don't know. I mean, there's always the risk of infection.
Yeah, right. Any surgery,
but the thing is that, so I think that's a valid criticism.
The drugs definitely seem fine again if they're very monitored.
Yeah. This is the thing though, is that like the surgeries would be done. Most of those surgeries though, they give you the surgery and then you get sent home.
Yeah, that's true.
and then you're in charge of your wound care,
Your own recovery.
and then like you go back in like 2 weeks later, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that's super infected. You're like, oh, I didn't even know. With if it was this case,
it would be all.
It's all in one place. It's like you're getting a doctor's visit every day. They can catch any infection the day it happens, right? And then just like clean it out or whatever. And you're in such a sterile environment. Your house isn't a sterile environment, right?
No, yeah.
Like
if your house.
But if you're like, if you have this surgery, you get put out, you have plates put in both of your forearms on one day, you're like going to be like just chilling for the next, 3, 4, 5 weeks before you can actually do anything again, right? It's like, why not just have them in a sterile or like a really, really clean environment, right? A controlled environment.
Yeah.
And they have doctor's visits every day, and they have, it's like,
it's pretty neat.
I think it'd be very, very feasible.
I've often said similarly, right? Like in sports, I think it solves a lot of issues, a lot of conflict. If you have the male sports division, the female sports division, and then the no rules sports division.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we have this technology, we have these things. Let's see peak human.
Well, there's the enhanced games that Peter Thiel has backed.
Oh, okay.
And it really is like a no holds barred. Like they're doing it based off biology still, right? So like you're male and female.
This idea,
male and female separated, but then it's just like
testosterone. Blood doping, just whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so I think you're going to get some crazy world records.
Yeah.
Well, it won't be a world record because it's not officially, it's not sanctioned, right?
Not official, but like.
But I think it is cool to see like what a natural human can do, and then what an enhanced human can do.
See, side side, yeah. But when it's a life or death situation, like in warfare.
Oh, like just that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right now, performance enhancing drugs are not allowed in the military.
Yeah.
Which is like
kind of interesting.
Well, they have a negative connotation, certainly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like, I honestly think if you did it correctly, and I don't think every soldier should have performance enhancing drugs. Like a radar operator does not need to be roided out of his mind, right? No. But like
Space Force,
if like, and you want fighter pilots to be so comfortable with their body that like, and their brain uninhibited by excess androgynous chemicals, right? That like
the Navy submarines, you want them short.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So we should just chop their legs off and make them all quadriplegics.
And put robot feet on.
Yeah. They can just
But yes.
But I think that'd be a very, very interesting concept.
Cool. Yeah, it's forward thinking, the future warfare.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's my company.
And
all right.
I like it. Oh, magic card of the week.
Magic card of the week. Close it out here, Trevor.
Close it out. Oh man, my magic cards of the week are never quick. Let's see here. All right.
It will be. It'll make it quick.
It's for Popper.
Nice.
As always. I don't think this is a particularly good deck, but it was an interesting card I saw.
Okay.
And I never seen this before. It's called Banishing Knack.
Banishing Knack.
Yeah.
Kanack.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Literally, I never seen this card. It's an instant for 1 blue. It's until end of turn.
Sorry, OP.
I know. Counterspell. Until end of turn, target creature gains, tap, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand.
So for 1 mana, it gives it a creature that ability
to bounce something back to their hand
until end of turn.
Till end of turn to its owner's hand.
Huh.
So it was a cool card to highlight. Like I said, never seen it before. All right. That gets you thinking. How do we abuse this?
Yeah.
So that's why that's the magic card of the week, sort of the semi-adjacent cards of the week. Is there's a common from Modern Horizons 2, I think. Maybe 3. Was there Modern Horizons 3? I don't remember. Steelfin Whale. He's a 6 mana, but he's got affinity for artifacts, so really he's 1 mana. You have 5 artifacts. He's a 3/4 whale. But then whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you untap him. So you just need an untapper with the previous effect from our Banishing Knack. And then you can find a way to go infinite. So there's other artifacts with affinity for artifacts where you can get them down to 0 cost. So you have the 0 cost enter. You have your whale with the Banishing Knack will tap and bounce the 0 cost back to your hand for free. You play the 0 cost to untap your whale again. So until end of turn, you have a loop. It's not doing anything yet.
I was like, all right, so we've got a 3-card do nothing combo.
You're untapping and tapping and bouncing a thing back to your hand. Great.
Impact tremors.
Yeah. After that, it's any sort of effect to abuse it, right? So 4-card combo. Yeah, but it's fun. It's cool.
Yeah.
So there's a popper deck I saw where there's a black impact tremors basically.
Yeah.
That just came out. So, but Banishing Knack was the main card of like, okay. It gets you thinking when you see cards like that are seemingly harmless. You're like, you can work with that. So I like the card of the week to kind of inspire that train of thought sometimes.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Have to give that one a look.
Yep. There's the art on that one. Yeah.
That's a good looking card.
Yeah. It's like a little gnome mage.
Yeah. Doing some runic magic or whatever.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's it. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.